Here we go.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Uncorked with T. I'm T, and this is my guest, other way, opposite, Cathy Andrews. I've known Cathy for 12 years now, maybe longer. Cathy is a retired events planner, college events planner. She is a former president and current secretary of the Barnstable Sunrise Rotary. She has a million children and a million grandchildren, a million great grandchildren. She is a wife, a mother, a wife of 45 years.
Almost.
What the what? That's so amazing and so awesome. And she continues to support the community. She has been involved in community activism and community events as long as I've known her, and I'm pretty sure way long before that. So, everyone, please welcome Cathy Andrews.
Thank you. Great to
Hi,
be here.
Cathy.
Great to be here with you.
Thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yay. So, I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
My first question is, so you have like this really cool, welcoming, warming spirit. Where did that openness and loving spirit come from?
Wow, you didn't tell me these questions are going to be okay. I Where does it come from? My grandmother, I guess. I was raised with my grandmother, and she didn't allow me to be. I was fresh on the outside, but in the house, I was really cool. No, I just always. I just always think of other people before myself. I think,
Yes.
it's just something I think that for me comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
To seek out those that need it and to support them. So yeah, that's kind of who I am. You already know who I am.
I know. Yes, you have like this. It's kind of like a beacon of love. Like you put up like this sonar like beacon, and like people who are damaged or a little bit broken just happen to come your way, and you just give out so much love and affection, and it's wonderful. Tara said, "Hi, Cathy." Hey,
Hi,
Tara.
Tara.
Um, so you've been married for 45 years. Holy crap, rockets. Um, to your husband Raymond, does love mean the same thing to you now as it did when you got married? How has love changed for you?
Okay, so let me back it up just a little bit because I actually met Raymond when I was 9 years old.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah, he lived in Falmouth and I had family who lived in Falmouth. And so whenever my dad would drive us down there, the neighborhood kids would come out to play, and of course he was one of them. And I always just had a little crush, when we would see him. Never saw him again until I was in my late 20s, although I knew his family.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sister was getting married, and so I went to the bridal shop because I was her maid of honor, and I found a gown that I fell in love with, and I said to the lady, "Could you hold that? I'm going to find me a man and I'll be back." And shortly thereafter, we ended up running into one another, and the rest kind of is history. But we're a blended family, so the love part. I think when you're young in love, it's one thing. It's it's make believe. It's this and that, and within a few years, you start to learn that you can't change them. You can't make them be who you want them to be, remold them, if you will. What we have now, and I'm going to just clear the whole 45-year thing up because we've actually been married 43 this year. We've been together 44, almost 45.
Gotcha. My apologies.
But it's a whole different type of love. It's companionship. It's really caring for the other person more than yourself.
Wow. That's really cool. Oh my gosh. So you guys are together for 43 years, married for 43, together for 45. I'm just gonna come out and say it. How have you not killed each other? Like so much time.
We've gotten close. I just don't think either one of us wanted to go to jail.
That'll do it.
We've had a rocky road at times, but it's deeper than that. It goes deeper than that. We both had children prior to getting married, and then we had one together. And for me, family's everything. And so I think even when I wanted to step away from, and there was that time that I wanted to step away. And there was a time that he wanted to step away. We were both acting foolish, but it was deeper. There was more to hold us together than to keep us apart.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. All right. So in the comments, Tilia gave you a heart. It's very sweet.
Aww.
And Tara said that this is relatable. So that's good.
Thank you.
So I just started reading this book. It's called Soul Therapy. It's a really cool book. If you guys can see it. Really cool book. It's also a journal and it has prompts in it. And one of the prompts is everyone has different needs in a relationship, what they want to give and receive. What are your needs in a healthy relationship? So one of the many answers that I said was, what I want is to continue to find self-worth and self-love. How important is self-love in a healthy relationship? Like, where did you get your self-love from?
Where do you get it from?
Yeah, like, how did it like just, Cathy, self-love, I love me, or did you have to work at it?
I'm still working at it. I'm still working at it. I don't think that for a long time, I didn't like me. That I just said, you tend to change for other people, or, then you find out that you can't change them. I found myself in many situations not being me. You go to work and you want to get along with everybody, so you put on that smile and you go to work, and then you come out of there and you're like, it's not easy. For me, finally finding contentment was with my spiritual background. I've been in the church for a long time, and I'm a gospel singer, so it's kind of that when I start singing, it's all me, it's all him,
Yes.
And that's, I think, where I find myself. In my little space, I can be me. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah,
sure I can be me, and then I can give me to you.
Man, I love that so much. Like it's kind of like a bit of a vessel,
It is. It's a rocky vessel at times, but
still a vessel. It still moves you forward, even though it gets a little rocky at times.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so being married for 43 years, how many lessons? Right. Okay. Being married for 43 years can have many lessons. What are some of the best lessons marriage has taught you? Patience, understanding, being a good detective. Um, what lessons have you learned the most?
Patience,
Patience.
patience.
Mhm.
Um, when you're married and you're in two different types of, I mean, you're not both blue collar, or you're not
Mhm.
both, professional or whatever. That has its challenges.
Mhm.
You know, being a good listener is another.
Mm.
So being patient when Raymond, who drove an 18-wheeler, would come home with mud on his boots and walk in the house that, I just washed the floor, blah. But, um, you know, uh, and his not being comfortable when I would be at work, in amongst my peers, um, that took patience,
Mhm.
on both sides, to the point where he finally got to a point where he would go with me to these different things that I was involved with,
Mhm.
and I would sit and listen to him talk his beer stories about the guys in the 18-wheelers, Um, yeah, patience, understanding, and I find more now as we're older, we have health problems,
Mhm.
and when I stop and think, this, I told you a little earlier, this world is not our own.
Mhm.
Um, it's difficult for me to think of a life without him after being with him for more than half of mine.
Yeah. More than
Yeah,
half of yours. Yeah.
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 I still get
That's a
upset
lot.
with him, but now I laugh about it.
Yeah.
Now I laugh about most stuff.
Good. I mean, laughing is just a lifesaver. It just saves you. You have to laugh. Have to laugh.
It does.
Um, so I had a question about like us. So you are a second mother to so many people, myself included. Um, what is it like to be a second mother to like all these kids that you pick up along the way? Is it heavy? Is it hard? Do you ever like not want to be a second mother? What is it like having all those people who need and love you?
For me, it's second nature. You know, um, I've always had kids in my life. We've taken in kids. I had a foster godson actually living with us back in the day. We always, even after Raymond and I got together, we always had someone living with us that was in need. So it was second nature to just, when I started working with students at the college, um, especially, you know, because you find that they're tormented with the classes, the advisors that don't talk to them, whatever it is. Um, they have issues. They have personal lives that you know, have had issues, and so they need somebody that they can vent to.
Mm.
That's not going to be judgmental. That's going to accept them for who they are and where they're at. And I found that my office door was that door.
Sure was.
But it's still the same. I mean, I have a lot of young people on my Facebook account, um, that will talk to me all the time, and and Raymond will say, "Oh, how do you know that?" And because so and so told me on Facebook. Um, but they have issues, and sometimes they just need a soft ear.
Yes.
Sometimes they need a mother figure that's going to lecture them. See on you. And we had plenty of that too. You know, for me, I've never had an issue with it. I got to say that my daughter sometimes will say, "Yeah, what do you mean? Like, how about, you know?" And I just, you already know, you got tea, and you got this one, and you got that one, you got that. But she gets it. She gets it. She's like, I got to share my mom with everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, Natara. Appreciate it. So in the comments, Tara said, wow. Susie said, T? What's up, Susie? So yeah, you always had, oh, by the way, if anyone has any questions for Cathy, just throw them in the comments, and then, we'll ask her whatever questions. Be respectful, because she's like my second mother, so don't start a mess. Okay. So your room was, you were talking about your time at the college, and your office was always open. It was always like open door policy. And I have gone into your office many a times for everything from like a hug to some support. Like, you are always, always there. Do you miss that job? Like, do you miss, like, you're retired now, do you miss it?
I miss it. I miss it so much. As you know, I retired early so that I could help Ms. Tara and Jay with the kids. So I have my grandkids, and I love being with them, and I'm loving watching them grow. But yeah, I miss my students. I miss that atmosphere. I mean, I was at the college well over 30 years. So yeah, so that was my second home.
Yeah.
I started there as a young person, and, left there as a senior citizen.
We ain't gotta tell nobody. We ain't know it.
But yeah, I do. I miss it. But I still have those that, as I said, will communicate with me, and, if there's issues, they kind of lay them out there, and, we talk it out, and
Yeah.
makes me feel good that I'm still wanted.
Yes, very much so. Susie said that when she said T, she was referring to someone needing to be scolded by Miss Cathy. I don't know, whatever she's talking about. I feel like I was
Yeah, you do.
perfect student. Perfect student. So just gonna leave that there.
You sure you want to do that, huh?
Yeah, it's yeah. Empty way. So yeah, you are such an inspiration to so many people. Who inspires you? Like, who do you look up to?
First and foremost, God.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, when you look at how the world is today, and I don't want to ever have to go back to where we were in the 1900s, early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, I give the Almighty all my glory. But my dad was a people person. My aunts were, they were all mentors to me. I had neighborhood women who mothered me. So it kind of comes with the territory. I grew up in the village, and the village took care of me.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I need to take care of those that are still in the village, whether that be, the senior citizens that just need somebody to talk to, or the students who have the problems.
Yeah.
Personal things going on.
Do we still have a village anymore? Like, is that still a thing? Do we still have villages, like, in our small communities?
I think we do, to an extent. I mean, the street that I grew up on, and then I went back and bought a house on the same street. So all the kids grew up together. And so you know, their moms were our moms. We were in and out of everybody's house. I no longer live there. I'm over the bridge. But there are still people on that street that either we were neighbors with their parents, or their parents or grandparents were the people that let me into their homes and fed me sometime, and so going back onto that street feels like home for me. And I know that I could knock on any door of those people that still live there and be welcomed in as family. So I think that, and it's the same. I mean, if anybody crosses the bridge and wants to knock at my door, the door's open.
Yes, your door is always open. I think that is so awesome, because I've gone through your door a couple of times. Like, listen, Cathy, I just need to talk. I just need to talk. You're always there to talk. I think that is, I don't think that is, it's a lifesaver. Like, it has been a lifesaver. Does that feel like too heavy for you, like to have that kind of weight? Or is it just like, this is what you do?
It's what I do. It's who I am. And I wouldn't want to be any other way. I try not to care. Doesn't work. Does not work for me. I try to, there's that saying, let go, let God. I try. I can't.
Yeah. I
can't. There is something, and it's a God-given gift, I guess, that just opens my heart to whoever needs it. And it doesn't make a difference who you are, or where your background is, or your political or spiritual. None of that makes a difference.
Oh my gosh. So you have, no, I don't want to ask that. I want to ask this. You are, I'm just changing my mind. You have this really great way of communicating with people, especially if someone makes a foul. And you have a great way of explaining what someone did wrong in a way that is educational, but like not shameful, Is that something that you had to learn, or is that just a thing you could always do? Like learning how to speak to people and correct social behaviors in a way that doesn't really put people down, but educates them. Like, is that something you had to learn, or?
I think for me, it's I want to treat people the way people treat, I want to be treated. So I'm going to treat you the way that I want to be treated. I don't want you all up in my face.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to go up in your face that way. And I find now, even with my grandchildren, they're learning, and their siblings and their brother, sister. And so, and the brother is older. So he's, he kind of messes with her, and she stands her ground, and she's coming out fighting. And we just had this conversation, and I said, you had a fight last night. What if something happened to him overnight? How would you feel? Would that argument have been worth it? When you stop and think about what's petty and what's important.
What's petty and what's important.
When you stop and I mean, we all do it. We all go, what are you talking about? And then you get angry and you don't talk. I had an aunt who used to tell me, never go to bed mad. And I've been to bed mad a lot of times. But the thing is that other person has gone to bed. They're in their 10th dream, and your heart is pounding because you're so mad that they're asleep. It's like, I'm not wasting it. I don't know how many more days I have ahead of me. I'm not wasting my sleep on anybody.
Yes. Do not care.
No. It's not, you know, you got to take the good with the bad,
Mhm.
and you have to weigh it out. What's important? I tell the kids, save that one for the big one. Don't get mad over that. Save it for the big one. Hopefully they'll never have a big one.
Yeah.
You know?
Hope so. Oh, that's one fun. What is your feel good food to go to? Like, if you're having like a crappy day, what do you come home and make that just brightens your life up?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. I love ice cream. And it's got, I'm hooked on this peanut butter ripple, I think it is. Yeah. Oh man. I've been trying to be good. So I put it in the back freezer so I won't be so tempted to go to it. But yeah, I will have ice cream before I have food.
Yes, I support that. That's a wonderful decision.
Yeah. Dessert before dinner. If I'm still hungry, I'll have a little dinner.
It's fine. It's fine.
But it's definitely ice cream. And it always has been. I like brownies too, but and now my granddaughter's making brownies, so I don't have to make them. It's really cool.
Right.
But she makes peanut butter brownies for me, so
wait, walnuts or no walnuts?
For me, walnuts. For everybody else in the house,
love walnuts, and they just go together in brownies. It just does.
Yes, they do.
It just does.
In salads, in brownies, in ice cream. I just
yes, it's so good.
Now everybody in the world knows that I like ice cream.
So you were at the college for over 30 years. So that means you have gone to a plethora of college events. What was some of like your top 5 college events that you either went to or participated in? Like what was some of your favorites?
Multicultural Festival, absolute favorite. Just to see how many different cultures we have on Cape Cod. And bringing them all together and watching the throngs of people go through all day long. The performances and the exhibitors and the people selling wares. Absolutely number 1. Number 2, Commencement. To see students come through the door for the first time and to see them walk across that stage, it's an emotional thing for me. I worked many commencements, and I would stand in the back and get teary-eyed here because some of those student stories. Yeah, those would be the top 2. My clubs, having the Rotaract Club and the Unity Club, being advisor to those, having you as the president of, and I'll never forget you coming to my door. That was a story in itself. Yeah, Miss New York, man, right?
Ready to go. Like, let's go do this.
And you were too, because within an hour you had all those signatures. But to formulate that club and make it what you did, where it was so diverse. The Rotaract Club became so diverse.
Rotaract is awesome.
Those were some of the really memorable moments for me. And I think the last one was my retirement. When I, because that was another emotional thing for me. to close a door that I had lived in
Oof.
for many years.
Oof.
That was
Yeah.
tough. Excuse me.
I went to your retirement.
No, can you?
I know, I'm sorry. It was a wonderful retirement. Your cake was amazing.
Wasn't it?
Yes,
Nice
I really like cake.
job.
I do. I love cake.
Oh boy.
So we're all stuck in quarantine. At least we should be. We're all watching Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that. What are you watching?
This month, Black Experience.
Nice.
I'm watching all these movies with Sidney Poitier and all these. Yeah, I'm catching up.
Yes.
I'm going to rewind on my younger years.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I've been. Because I get tired of watching the news. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I've been catching up on movies and I keep threatening to go back to my knitting, actually, which sits in my corner. It's been sitting there. Let me see, Nerea is going to be 12 years old. Yeah, it's been sitting there for 11 years.
Nerea's going to be 12?
Jaden's going to be 13 next month.
What even?
We're going to have a teenager over here.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, teenagers are great. They're great.
This one is.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. So how many, let's count them down. How many kids, grandkids, and great grandkids do you have?
Okay. We're a blended family. So you really want me to do this without we started out, let me say 5 kids. Okay. Together. Blended. And I think it's 19 grandchildren. I think. And 6 great grandbabies, 1 on the way.
Wow. You 19 grandchildren. Christmas must be insane. Like, how do you buy things for all of them?
The thing is that I try to do something throughout the year, like birthdays rather than Christmas, because Christmas gets,
Yeah.
And they're all spread out. I've got them in Minnesota, Florida, Massachusetts, and 1 out in Vegas. So yeah, they're everywhere, you know, like, so it's hard. It's hard for us to get together, and, you know, everybody's doing their thing, and these young people are growing up so fast, and, you know, so I haven't even seen my son except on FaceTime for a year.
Oh. Yes. Oh my God. The restrictions are just,
it's not the same.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same.
No. And of course, this past year we lost 1 son and his wife. So those 2 grandchildren live in New Bedford, and, you know, we keep in touch with them.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that's pretty much all the questions I have for you. If anyone else has any questions, throw them in the comments. We'll definitely ask her. Cathy, thank you so much for being here with us. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or anything you want to throw out there?
Okay. I'm going to just, can I just do this without being X-rated?
Yes.
Okay. I want everybody to see my chucks and pearls.
Yes, chucks and pearls.
And be it known that I am wearing my chucks.
Y'all heard that. She's wearing the chucks too.
Because I think that, you know, it's funny with everybody doing this remote work from home and, you know, everybody dresses up from here.
Yes. Yes. I don't know what we're going to do when we have to go back to real world. No one's going to wear pants. I'm not going to wear pants.
It's like, wow. But yeah, so I had to do this for you today because,
Thank you.
you know, I would have been in my sweats.
Yes. And that jacket is kicking, by the way. I love that jacket.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
You know, I was going to put on my Rotary pin and I forgot because I was trying to get the dog out and everything. It's snowing, it's not fun. I was worried about that. But yeah, Rotary is the other thing that I'm really still involved with, as you were until you moved away from us. You know, but I'm really proud of the fact that some of my Rotaractor students ended up becoming members, not only members, our current president is a former Rotaractor. Our president last year, Nefertiti, was also a former Rotaractor.
Yes,
and so, you know, and then we had Wilton who moved out
Ooh.
on us. Yeah, I know, right?
Wilton.
Moved out on us.
I'm just playing Wilton. You know I love you, bro.
But yeah, you know, it gives me such pride to see the diversity in our club, because, oh Lord, we range from one gentleman who's in his 80s down to Sarah and Neff who are in their 20s, and you know, everything in between. And doing all these great things like, you know, taking care of the homeless and, you know, diapers for babies and, you know, all those good things.
All good things. Sarah said, Cathy, how could you forget your pen? Listen, Sarah, she's doing too many things at once. All right. It's not her fault. It's Friday. So
I'm sorry, Madam President.
I think she'll forgive you. Oh, man. Well, that's all I have for you today. First of all, thank you so much, Cathy, for answering all these long, intrusive questions. Thank you for being so honest and so candid and so awesomely you.
I hope that I was able to answer them the way that you expected me to.
No, you did great. You did great.
It's been a joy just seeing your face.
Same. I miss your face.
I absolutely love you. You are always going to be one of mine.
Same. Thank you, Cathy. I love you.
I love you too. Take
care.
All
right, you guys. Remember, check out the podcast on Spreaker or anywhere you get your podcast, Uncorked with T. Here is to Cathy.
Oh, wait, I got mine. Wait a minute.
Here's to you, Cathy. I love you.
Yes.
All right, you guys have a wonderful night. See you later. Deuces.